Did you know our moon and even our Earth are considered satellites? Satellites are objects that orbit around a planet, star, or moon. So since the moon orbits around the Earth and the Earth orbits around the sun, these objects are considered satellites as well. But how do human-made artificial satellites work? How do they orbit around the Earth and communicate with us? In this video, we will go over how they stay in orbit around the Earth, the different orbits that they stay in, and what space junk is. The physics behind all satellites, natural or not, is the same. For example, let's launch a satellite from Earth. It is first strapped to a rocket, which will travel above 28,000 km per hour to escape our atmosphere. Then, it will detach from the rocket and maintain that speed while expanding its solar panels to provide it with energy. As the satellite starts to fall back into the Earth, it travels fast enough horizontally that it will fall past the curve of the Earth, and as the satellite keeps traveling this direction, it is pulled back into the Earth, causing it to start orbiting. These satellites are in a constant state of freefall, as they are falling into the Earth and sideways at the same time. If they travel too slow, then they will fall back into the Earth. But if they travel too fast, they will escape the orbit and fly out into space. Most satellites are equipped with thrusters, filled with fuel or compressed gas, which can do micro adjustments to make sure that the satellite is flying at a specific orbit at a specific altitude. Depending on the speed of the rocket, satellites are launched into different orbits depending on what they need to do. At the low Earth orbit, which is between 300 to 1,500 kilometers above the Earth, the satellites here travel very fast, often orbiting around the Earth more than once every day. Because this orbit is so close to the Earth, the satellites here are great for taking images and spying for military purposes. However, since they are so close, they experience very small amounts of air resistance from our atmosphere, which eventually slows them down enough to drop back into Earth. The International Space Station is also here, and it needs to be maintained regularly because it falls around 100 meters every day towards Earth due to this drag. Next, at the medium Earth orbit, which is between 7,000 to 20,000 kilometers above the Earth, many of the GPS navigation and communication satellites orbit here. And if we go higher, we will reach the geostationary orbit, which is at around 35,786 kilometers above the Earth. The satellites here match the rotation of the Earth and orbit around the Earth exactly once per day. So, from our point of view, they are always right above our heads. This means that satellites here are perfect for communication and observing the weather, since they sit in the same spot in the sky to us. And there we have it. Satellites are able to orbit around the Earth by constantly falling. They fall away from the Earth as they fall towards it, allowing them to travel around the Earth in the same orbit for decades. Depending on the altitude of the satellites, they can do different things, from communication to predicting the weather. Space organizations around the world keep track of all the satellites to make sure that new satellites will be launched into unoccupied orbits, so they don't collide with each other. We already have hundreds of millions of debris orbiting around Earth, each traveling up to 30,000 km per hour, as a result of collisions or used rockets. We refer to those as space junk, but we are starting to find ways to get rid of them, from capturing them with nets to melting them with lasers. I hope that you all have learned something interesting today. Thank you for your time, and stay hydrated.